Her high school geometry class turned scary this week when the remote learning session was hacked. The school principal sent a letter to the parents explaining how racial slurs and sexual images made their way into the internet class. Eyewitness News reporter Zach Briggs has the details.
What began as another lesson of fourth period virtual geometry class at MacArthur High School on Friday turned into something a bit more disturbing. One parent who wished to be anonymous says another person logged into the Zoom-based geometry class using her 16-year-old son's full name. But instead of his picture, it was a photo depicting individuals dressed as members of the Ku Klux Klan. For the next 40 minutes, without the teacher noticing, the Zoom bomber proceeded to share racist and sexual content with students. One parent saw what was happening and contacted school officials. The unruly Zoom disruptor disappeared by the time an administrator accessed the online class. An NEISD spokesperson declined to provide further information but directed us to a letter sent to parents which addresses the incident. MacArthur High School principal Pete Martinez said in part, "We understand this may have been upsetting for your child if they witness this. If the person responsible is a student, they will face serious disciplinary consequences." In the meantime, school admins are working to remind teachers the importance of monitoring each student's screen in the virtual classroom. Students are also being asked to avoid sharing Zoom links, as it could lead to future situations like the one experienced on Friday. Zach Briggs, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.